A big, beautiful victory. That's the focus of tonight's angle. All right, in the wee hours of the morning, House Republicans showed they are capable of governing.
The media and the Democrats have consistently dismissed any possibility that House Republicans could get this done. They did not believe that we could succeed in our mission to enact President Trump's America First agenda. But this was a big one.
The big, beautiful bill delivers on most key elements of the Trump agenda, such as permanently extending his 2017 tax cuts. That's a big one. Medicaid work requirements. It's about time. Green energy cuts, maybe not enough, but no tax on tips or overtime pay. That's big. And higher tax deductions for seniors after a period of 4 years. New funding for the border, defense, money for ICE. 25 bill to kickstart construction of the Golden Dome. Yeah, there are legitimate concerns about deficit spending. We'll get to that in a bit. Angles press Republicans on this, but let there be no mistake. This is still a historic MAGA victory, one that out-of-touch liberals, by the way, and you remember, they thought was never going to come to pass. Because last year, literally just 1 year ago, they thought Trump might be headed to jail. And they thought Mike Johnson might be headed for a crash and burn.
He's one of the weakest speakers that we have ever seen in that chair.
Republicans in the House, led by Speaker Mike Johnson, are breaking records and setting the bar for ineffectiveness.
Ineffectiveness? How many times did they use that word to describe the guy who truly was ineffective at the job, the basic job of the presidency? Now, the truth is, while Trump, Johnson, and their teams were working hard to get the votes they needed to pass this legislation, so-called journalists, we've been seeing a lot of them running around lately, and political analysts, they were all asleep at the wheel because their partisan views were blinding them to the truth. You know what the truth is? Trump's just better than about anyone else out there at politics. Working with Speaker Johnson, Trump was always going to get the votes he needed. I never had a doubt about that, including from the Freedom Caucus, at least the ones he needed. But the incurious minds couldn't see it.
Hakeem Jeffries not going to come to his rescue anymore, Mike Johnson, the speaker. He's going to have to do it entirely with his own majority.
The Freedom Caucus provides obstacles.
He has a razor-thin majority. They're going to need Democrats. Republican leadership, especially in the House, cannot do it. Mike Johnson can't do it.
Well, Peter Baker was right. Hakeem Johnson wasn't going to help him, but all the other ones are wrong. They didn't need Democrats. Every Republican voted for this. It didn't need a rescue, Peter. Only 2 voted for it, Tom Massey, Warren Davidson. So are the analysts and the reporters giving Speaker Johnson any credit tonight? Of course not. But not too long ago, they knew how to celebrate the effectiveness of another speaker whose agenda they agreed with.
Objectively speaking, I was like, oh my gosh. Nancy Pelosi is a boss. I mean, she handled herself amazingly.
She did not come to play. She was a complete and utter boss.
Nancy Pelosi is known for getting the votes.
Nancy Pelosi is really the whip. She's the vote counter. She knows how to keep her caucus together.
Nancy Pelosi is mature. She is professional. She's extremely good at her job. Donald Trump is not.
Very mature, John. Look, the last 48 hours shows us once again that Donald Trump knows more about politics than anyone else, at least in the past 50 years. No one, and I mean no one, can touch him. And Mike Johnson was smart enough to see that and effectively partnered with him. Trump made the trip to the Hill to underscore that he meant business. It was old-style politicking. Trump bargained with blue state Republicans on taxes and quelled a rebellion from conservatives over spending. But there was one guy they were never going to win over.
You watch. Next year, we'll spend more money than we did this year. And the year after that, we will too. This budget will add at least $30 trillion to the debt over the next 10 years. And it's a Republican budget.
Well, the debt is a ticking time bomb, that's for sure. And because of the trillions in deficit spending in this bill, buyers of U.S. debt are increasingly skeptical that Congress will ever get serious about these spending cuts. So their argument is that this could have disastrous economic consequences for the country and has to be dealt with. And now the bill moves to the Senate, where Republicans are already conceding some of this problem.
I think there's some opportunities for more efficiency, some more savings, and there's still a lot of decisions to be made. So I think we're talking about weeks or months.
Let's don't get high on our horse here that we've somehow made some major advancement of reducing spending, because we didn't.
All right, let's start with the Pentagon, Lindsay. All right, of course, on the flip side, if the Democrats get back into power, they have zero intention of ever cutting any spending except maybe on border enforcement. All Hakeem Jeffries could do in the middle of the night was spit in the wind about the guy whose team found billions in savings.
Waste, fraud, and abuse has been presented in a compelling way. At the same time, when Elon Musk and his federal contracts are worth $8 million a day. If you're trying to find waste, fraud, and abuse, I have a suggestion. Start right there.
Now, this is an unserious man and an unserious party. Trump and Johnson did what they could do with the votes they had. And as usual, Democrats' bold predictions of failure were wrong. Again. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.